Hey everybody, this is Syoori once again bringing you another Shoutcast for Blizzard's Heroes of the Storm. This matchup is going to be played on the Haunted Mines. It's another in-house developer show match, and it's footage that Blizzard has been gracious enough to give us in the Shoutcasting community, so I hope to impress you guys and give you what you want, quality content. But it looks like both teams have started to zone into the matchup, so let's go ahead and take a look at the blue team. Starting from right to left, we've got Vala the Demon Hunter in that Witch Hunter skin. Awesome skin there. Nazebo the Witch Doctor, followed by Kerrigan in that Succubus Kerrigan skin. And finally, Tassadar. And I think they also, there he is, they also had a Stitches on their team. Here he comes into frame in that Chef Stitches skin. Awesome skins there for the blue team. Meanwhile, over here on the red team, we've got Tyrande playing as support, level 90 ETC, Jim Raynor, Gazlo the Tinker, and Uther Lightbringer. Gazlo, the only one not skinned, but I think that Lumberjack Uther there really makes up for Gazlo's lack of skin. So again, they're going to be playing on the Haunted Mines, guys. And the objective of this map, if you haven't played it before, haven't seen anything before, there's actually two parts to it. So every few minutes, the bottom half of the map is going to open up. The Haunted Mines portion is going to open up. And both teams are going to go down there and scramble to collect these skulls. Now, there's going to be a lot of NPC skeletons for both teams to start killing. Once all 100 skulls down in the bottom portion of the map have been collected, both teams are going to spawn a Grave Golem. Now, that Grave Golem strength is going to be relative to how many skulls your team was able to collect while they were down below. So a huge point of contention there for both teams. And Stitch is just barely missing that hook onto Uther. You see Tassadar activated his passive, and that gave them full vision of that brush over there where Uther is hiding. Kerrigan leaping in onto Gazlo, doing a little bit of harassment damage, but nothing really going to come of that just yet. Tassadar throwing out some shields onto Vala. Nice stun there from Tyrande to keep Stitches in position. And ETC is going to stage dive in. A little bit out of position, though, as blue team is going to make him pay for it. It looks like Vala finishing him off there with some auto attacks. Tyrande getting hooked. Oh my goodness, the Ravage comes in, but a nice stun there may be enough to keep her alive, but so much auto attack damage, and a Primal Grasp from Kerrigan is going to seal Tyrande's fate. So 2 kills, early game aggression from the blue team. Very nicely done. We take a look down there at the bottom lane. We see Naziba and Raynor going at it head to head. Nothing really going to come of them unless they get some ganks here from the top lane. Another big hook there from Stitches onto ETC, but he's going to be able to power slide and face melt out of there. A great combo there for ETC. Power slide does stun enemies in its path, and then he can face melt to push enemies away from him. So a lot of survivability there from ETC. He's one of the stronger tanks, I think, in the game, but you can see the plays there that Stitches can make. So real quick, the Observer is going to show us down here. These are the Haunted Mines. I just want to take a quick look at those. That's where all the skeletons are going to show up. Another big hook there from Stitches, but ETC, again, able to power slide and face melt out of there, out of danger. He is very, very low there, and Uther, very low on mana, taking a lot of damage. They might be able to pick up the kill here, but no, they're going to turn it around as they do not want to overextend. A lot of minions there, and they are very early in levels, so the minions can do quite a bit. You see the Gazlo turrets there as well, providing that backup support. Kind of interesting to see Gazlo in lane. A lot of in the alpha, we're seeing a lot of Gazlos go into a mainly a jungle route. I guess you could call it a jungle, where Gazlo is focused almost entirely on collecting mercenary camps. And ETC getting hooked there once again. Vala going to vault in and secure that kill there with auto attacks. So Stitch is just really on point with these hooks so far. He is dangerously low on mana and health though, so he's probably, there he is, going to go ahead and retreat back to base, going to Hearthstone out of there and leave Kerrigan, Tassadar, and Vala there to finish up the lane. Tyrande, the lone survivor out there, doing what she can. Raynor taking a lot of harassment damage, it looks like, from Nazebo without actually doing too much himself. Pretty opportune moment for a gank down there. And actually, if you look at your minimap, it looks like Kerrigan sees that and wants to go down. I don't know if we're going to be able to get vision of that, as I am not in control of the spectator camera, guys, so I'm just kind of playing off of what I see on the minimap a little bit there. But the Haunted Mines have opened up, guys, and there are 100 skulls down there. Now, you can see all those little purple dots there on your minimap. Actually, wait 1 second. As Raynor getting initiated on by Kerrigan, he may go down yet. Naziba able to finish him off with the auto attacks. And now it's ETC in a 2-on-1, but he's going to go punch for punch here with Kerrigan, taking a lot of damage. Kerrigan takes the Primal Grasp out a little bit too early, I think, and ETC was able to power slide out of that engagement and survive. So you can see there, the blue team has sent quite a few members down into the mines. Tassadar and Stitches down there by themselves, almost. Vala going a different route, and now Uther, Tyrande, and Gazlo all over these two on the blue team. They've got to retreat this. They do not have the damage to fight this. Tyrande able to do a lot of damage herself. Stitch is landing a nice hook there onto Uther, but Uther is going to be able to heal up quite nicely there. You see Tassadar taking a lot of harassment damage from those skeletons down in the mines. They are actually able to do a little bit of damage to you if you're not careful. But now Raynor has joined the fight, and this is definitely a losing battle. Stitches and Tassadar have got to retreat out of this. Tassadar getting a little bit out of position there, not actually going for the exit. And yeah, he should fall there. A nice stun from Uther keeps him in place. And now they've turned their attention onto Stitches. Now ETC doing great job body blocking so far. Stitches probably not going to make it out of this. No, especially when you turn back and don't go for the exit there, Stitches. Sometimes you just got to go all in. But meanwhile, while all that was going on, Kerrigan and Vala just ripping through the skeletons down here in the mines. Nazeeba tried to come down and see if he could finish off a kill there onto Raynor, but it's not really going to happen. He was able to bribe the mercenary night camp, it looks like, and so a nice push there in the bottom lane for them on the blue team. Meanwhile, Vala and Kerrigan going all over this Grave Golem. Now that Grave Golem is worth 20 skulls if you can take it down, and it looks like Kerrigan and Vala have done just that. You see their blue team is all the way up to 80 skulls, but now everybody seems to be retreating out of the mines. There's still about 10 skulls remaining down there, 9 skulls I should say, as Uther is still down there, but everybody kind of going away from the mines right now. And this can be a useful strategy if you want to, collect mercenary camps and really push your lanes out before you spawn those grave golems. But I think they still had enough time. If they were to go down there and collect the rest of those skulls, they would have still had enough time to come up and collect the mercenary camps that they wanted to. And again, guys, this is the earlier version of the Haunted Mine, so we're not actually able to see which lanes the grave golems are going to be spawning in, but I believe the blue team is going to have theirs in the top lane and the red team is going to have theirs in the bottom lane. That was one of the changes that Blizzard made in the latest patch that allows you to see pretty much exactly what lane your grave golem is going to spawn in. So Stitch is coming in from the mines here. A little bit of a surprise attack as he gets the hook onto Tyrande. Not able to hit the zombie wall onto Raynor though is Nazeebo. Stitch is doing a lot of damage, but he is taking a lot himself. ETC is going to use his power slide. A little bit out of position, though. Got to be careful. And here comes Nazeebo with his heroic ability all over, but the stun from Tyrande shuts that down right away. But now Nazeebo probably going to be able to secure the kill there onto ETC. Kerrigan, though, in a little bit of a bad spot here as Tyrande and Raynor are giving chase to him right now. Nazeeba very out of mana and can't really do anything to assist. But here comes Vala. Kerrigan going down there, but Vala able to secure the kill onto Tyrande with the Rain of Vengeance. Raynor going down just after he let loose Raynor's Raiders. Not a very well-timed ultimate for him indeed. And now Uther coming into this 2-on-1. Nazeeba and Vala all over him. Vala using a lot of mana. Uther staying quite a bit alive. And uh-oh, here comes the stage dive from ETC. Vala has now got to get himself out of this fight, but he is going to go down. A lot of stuns there for the red team between Uther and ETC. A lot of stuns and displacement abilities. Nicely done there. You see Gazlowe, here he goes. As I was talking about earlier, Gazlowe has been played a lot in the jungle, picking up those mercenary camps, and you can see him there picking up those mercenary camps for his team. So both teams have spawned their golems. Looks like the blue team went down there and collected the rest of those skulls out. So they have an 89 skull golem. You can see at the top of your screen there to an 11 skull golem for the red team. Now the red team is going to want to try to push their advantage here as much as possible in that bottom lane. They don't have a very big golem, so they want to get it pushed as far as they can. Meanwhile, up here in the top lane, the blue team doesn't have to send as many people with their golem because it is so powerful. And Gazlowe himself can do a decent job of defending, but really he's got to be careful. Kerrigan and Nazeeba have a lot of killing power up there, especially with that golem giving a lot of presence. Now Stitch is getting very low. He is going to go down. And actually the red team is in a very nice position down here in the bottom lane. Their grave golem is trashing through that bottom lane fort. But again, up here in the top lane, the blue team's golem is doing the same. But he is incredibly more powerful. You can see the health difference there on the top of your screen. The red team's golem is just about to die, taking all those fort hits. But the red team is going to continue to push into this bottom fort. They may actually be able to take this down, but their enemy's golem, that blue team golem, is just barely above half health. You can see, again, at the top of your screen. But red team actually able to take a fort out of this. So not a bad trade there, and I'm hoping to see these guys return back to their base. They've got to do something to deal with this incredibly powerful grave golem that's just trashing through their base right now. Gazlowe has done a valiant effort to hold it off, but at this point they need the rest of their team to come in and support, and they have just that. ETC coming in as well as Tyrande and Gazlowe to finish off this grave golem before it can do any more damage to their bases. But that grave golem is in a great position. So again, another trick to the Haunted Mines is that where your Grave Golem dies is where he's going to spawn the next time they spawn a Grave Golem. So, if your Grave Golem manages to push all the way into their base, the next time you get a Grave Golem, it's going to be brutal for the enemy team. Nazeeba getting a good fight here. He's got his heroic ability. Rain of Vengeance comes out from Vala to secure the kill there onto Tyrande. Uther just barely making it out of there with his life, but Raynor now has got to be careful. Gazlo throwing out the stun bomb. It is going to hit on Stitches, but not too effective. I guess it's zoning out, it is. ETC going to power slide through. Stitches just barely missing the hook there. That could have been the death of ETC. Now Kerrigan trying to push their advantage. Tassadar throwing down the Time Warp. And we're going to go check out down here, as it looks like Nazeeba was able to bribe a camp of Knights for the blue team. And that's actually going to be a very, very effective push there in the bottom lane. Blue team probably going to be able to take that fort. Vala, though, going down as Raynor in a lot of trouble himself, but the Stim Pack keeps him alive. My goodness, so powerful is that Stim Pack ability. Raynor just barely surviving that fight, and now Tyrande throwing down the Starfall. She's all over Stitches, but not going to be able to secure the kill there. Here comes ETC, though, face melting these guys away from him. Kerrigan getting out of position there, and Kerrigan goes down so quickly to the damage of the red team. Now blue team on their heels. They're going to be forced to retreat, but they've got a nice push going down here in the bottom lane. They've got to be happy about that. Most likely, that fort, there it goes down. And you can see up there in the top of your screen, that timer has started. So once again, 20 seconds or so until the Haunted Mines open up. And blue team really going to be looking to go down there, I think, and collect up those skulls so they can get another powerful Grave Golem to continue that push in the top lane. Gazlo, again, in the mercenary camps, in the so-called jungle here, picking up these mercenary camps. Blue team doing the same. They've got to answer right back. You don't want to fall behind in terms of your mercenary camp collection. So both teams collecting mercenary camps for opposite lanes. Looks like blue team actually going to go and take their bottom lane siege golem. So not a bad strategy indeed. Red team going to come over and see if they can contest. You can see on your mini-map there, it looks like Tyrande and Uther coming in. And now Stitches and Nazeeba are going to be forced to retreat. But here comes ETC with the stage dive. Nicely done there. Power sliding on the opposite side of Nazeebo with the face melt to put him out of position. And that's going to do it for Nazeeba. Stitches trying to gorge Uther behind the enemy lines. But Raynor there to help his buddy Uther out and secure the kill onto Stitches. You can see Tassadar down there and Vala in the Haunted Mines picking up those skulls. But the red team's going to take advantage of the fact that they're down there. And Kerrigan looks like she's over collecting the red team side mercenary camps, the siege golems there. So the red team's going to take full advantage of this and press their advantage here in the bottom lane with their siege golems and try to take this fort. Now, if they take this fort, their team is going to start spawning catapults in that bottom lane, and that's basically like your super minions. Gazlo getting a little bit out of position there. I don't know if he intended on doing just that, going into that palace and taking a lot of damage. But now you see the blue team, almost everybody has returned to base. Vala with the Rain of Vengeance coming out, but Uther's going to be able to survive through it. The Starfall is out from Tyrande. So much action going on right now. Kerrigan trying to see if she can pick a kill there onto Raynor. Raynor taking so much damage, but again, saved by that Stim Pack and the heals of Tyrande. Raynor's Raiders coming out. Nazeebo with his heroic ability, but it's going to get canceled there. Nice stun by ETC to avoid all of that damage. Now Nazeeba and Stitches getting dangerously low. Kerrigan a little bit out of position. She's got to be careful. A nice stun from Uther and a death ray from Gazlos to secure her fate as she goes down. And this engagement should end here. Vala going to see if she can try to pick up the kill there onto Uther. But now here comes the stun from Tyrande, and ETC and Raynor turning it right around and just dropping Vala so quickly. Tassadar is going to phase shift out of there, just barely surviving that engagement as well. So a lot of back and forth there, but a really good engagement for the red team. 2 for naught. As I say that, though, Raynor getting hooked. I don't know if they have the damage to pick him off, though. Stitch is going to do what he can. Oh, wow. Such powerful heals there coming out from Uther, getting him almost back up to full health. And, oh, wow, red team in a little bit of a bad spot as there's 4 siege golems just tearing away at their palace. Blue team was able to pick up that top lane fort. They do have 50 skulls to their name, so if they were to return down into the mines and quickly collect up those last 50 skulls, that could be the end of the game. But they don't want the same thing to happen as they just saw, where they send people down into the mines and the red team capitalizes on this and pushes into their palace. The red team, again, they do have that inner fortress down. Raynor getting hooked there. I don't think, once again, that they are going to have enough damage to pick him off, especially with Tyrande's heals there. And it looks like Uther coming into the fight as well. So a lot of back and forth in this game. Right now, the blue team just has to get that Grave Golem. Their whole game almost entirely depends on it, as they're not winning these team fights very securely. As I say that, though, Turan going down. Looks like the Rain of Vengeance and Nazeeba's heroic ability are going to be enough to pick her off. But here, Raynor picks up the kill there, along with Raynor's Raiders, onto Vala. ETC going to stage dive in here once again onto Nazeeba. Nazeeba with the ice block, but too little too late, my friend. And yeah, he is going to go down very, very quickly. Down here in the Haunted Mines, we see Kerrigan and Tassadar working away at that Grave Golem. They're trying to get that 100 Skull Golem. If they were able to secure this quickly enough, they may be able to get that Golem to spawn and push into the enemy team. There it goes down, so they've got to get back to their base, though, because, again, as I said earlier, here comes the red team taking advantage of the fact that the blue team is all completely down in the mines. They're going to try to kill this palace, and they're doing just that. It's so low, down to about half health. Blue team finally coming back. They're going to try to engage this, but Raynor just barely staying alive once again with the stim pack. Gazlo going down, but the palace is so low, and it is going to go down. Big win there for the red team, and that just goes to show you just exactly what you can do when you decide whether or not you want to forego going into the mines or not. It's a big strategy, and it's kind of a point of issue that we've seen with the Haunted Mines of whether or not it's worth it to go down there, the clearing times, and Blizzard has done things to adjust that, so it's a little bit more objective focused. It's a little bit easier to go down there, get those skulls, and come back into your base to defend. So I think, you know, in Haunted Mines 2.0, that might have gone a little bit differently. Blue team definitely had a good advantage there on the Grave Golems. Their Grave Golem almost certainly would have killed the red team's palace should they have been able to defend that final push there from the red team. And given a little bit more time, I think they would have been able to in that Haunted Mines 2.0. But it's not. And GG, well played in favor of the red team, guys. And that's going to do it for me. Thanks again for watching this and checking out my YouTube channel. If you want to find me on other social medias, you can find me at twitch.tv/Mr. Syoori, Twitter at Mr. Syoori, again here on YouTube /Mr. Syoori, and Facebook.com/Mr. Syoori, guys. But thanks again for checking it out. Keep the hype up for this game. The community is what's going to drive this game, especially if we want it to get to its esports potential that I think we all know it has the opportunity to be. But thanks again, guys, for checking it out. I am Syoori. Stay classy.